Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zemo the Dad in DPS, and we're back once again with another episode of The Good, the Scrap and the Scrip, a series where I find weapons in Appalachia and see what happens with them. Now, today's weapon, once again, is no different, but before we get into that, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel, there is the relevant links down below, coffee, and the join link for our YouTube members. Either way, let's see what happens. I'll be honest, sometimes I just construct these guns out of duct tape and superglue. Now this one's a little doozy. It is a bloodied, bullets explode for air damage, damage resistance while reloading, pipe pistol. And not just the bolt action pipe pistol, the regular shooty pipe pistol. Which means it's a relatively decent little gun. On top of that, it is able to be used in different ways. You can use this as a rifle, you can use it as a pistol. It's really up to yourself. So it does have the kind of... It can work in just about any build that isn't heavy, essentially. So it's an interesting little gun, and I'm very eager to see how well it does. Pipe pistols are very underrated, and on top of that, I disparaged them for the longest time. Let's see how this one does. So as normal, let's see how this gun does. As you're seeing, we're doing some fairly decent damage onto these enemies. We're taking them out fairly quick. I'm not even going full auto mode, which I can do relatively easily. And you're seeing that they don't last very long at all against this gun. It is quick, it does moderately okay damage. I think there was enemies up there that I completely blanked. And it's just very effective for what is essentially relatively cheap ammunition. It's good, easy to craft, easy to get from other factors as well. So for just what it is, don't get me wrong, again, as with any gun that I tend to review, it's not a fixer, it's not a railway rifle. Unless it is a fixer and a railway rifle. In this case, it's not a fixer and it's not a railway rifle. So it's not gonna blow the nipples off God. Most guns won't though, that's the thing. It's capable at range of killing, it is very easy to use, and people underestimate them. Therefore people sell them. So you can usually pick up a decent one relatively easy in comparison to the bigger hitters and the more mainstream weapons. And because of that, it makes a very good weapon for starting off, because you're going to find a lot less resistance when trying to procure one, whether it be from Murgaburg, as I get all my second-hand weapons, or if you're buying it from vendors. And as I said, there's different variations that you're going to be able to get as well. This being bloodied is going to add a lot of damage to my build, and as you're seeing, these mole miners really don't stand a chance. So yeah, let's move on to the build. So this is the build, guys. Obviously, I say this every thing. It doesn't really matter that much. This is what I'm currently using. It's what I find to be the most effective way of using this weapon. Now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. There's our coffee link and our YouTube join member link if you are so inclined. Either way, pause the video if you want to see this a little longer. Let's move on. As always, we are back with the big, the stinky, and the relatively angry Jeff. Now, this weapon is very good at sneaking, because it's got a silencer. Most weapons that have a silencer are. And on top of that, Jeff does not like being shot in the face. So let's see how quickly this gets him. Now, as you're seeing, that's one clip gone. Jeff's barely up. Second clip's gone, and he is nearly gone. And yeah, Jeff's dead. 3 clips, and it takes him out. Pipe pistols are not the most damaging weapons in the game, but Jeff just didn't stand a chance. I think it works quite well. And with Jeff's passing, we arrive back at the Queen. Now the great thing about this gun is, well, I think it's going to do rather well on the Queen. Anything that can be silenced is going to do better than some guns. On top of that, we should be able to target her legs fairly confidently, and hopefully take them out. Don't get me wrong though, she is a big old tricky bugger, which might make things a bit difficult. However, she's currently looking over there as if we're still over there. We are not. Obviously. Bad queen. Right. Let's see. We've crippled the left leg. Let's go for the right. Now, obviously, she is dangerous as hell if she gets close. But we've nearly got her. And there she goes. Didn't even need to cripple her legs, and she went down relatively easily. Definitely passing all the tests so far. But you know what it means now? So now we are in daily ops. Now today is it's armor piercing day, and we've got a stealth weapon. This is going to make it a bit easier to deal with. I just moved the mic closer to my face. I felt it was a bit far away. Either way, we get to see what this is going to do. We've got communists, which isn't relevant, but you know, we killed them. So we used 8 bullets there. We get around 12 back from that lot. I think this is going to be the same kind of scenario with most weapons, where we get anywhere between 4 and 16, which can differ the amount. So I can take out some enemies in free, which means we're gaining our ammo back every time, and some enemies just seem to take more bullets. I think that was mainly because I held in the button. I think in daily ops you just need to stagger the shots a little bit, because unfortunately there's a little bit of lag is probably the best word. Robots aren't always the best thing to test against, but you've seen her there. When the explosion catches up, it's doing significant damage, and we're able to get her down with about 3 hits. So you do need to watch, depending on your weapon, how long you're holding in the button. Which is kind of annoying, because if you're using a full auto weapon, you kind of want to hold it in and obliterate everything. And that goes for a lot of weapons in game. You've got this whole input lag type thing going on, and it's really, really frustrating when you are able to mow down like an entire army of enemies, but the game doesn't let you. It doesn't let you because it just puts these little hamperings into the game code where everything is too slow, and it just doesn't let you do what you want to do. Now, don't get me wrong, this gun is going to get its ammo back like a boss. There is nothing stopping this weapon from doing really well. The reason for that being, well, the enemies are just tissue paper for the most part to explosive damage. Stealth, you are getting that big ass damage bonus per hit, and even out of stealth, you're still capable of taking out a lot of enemies really quickly. I think this is a fantastic little weapon. Don't get me wrong, as with anything, I don't think it is a queen killer. Now you saw I dropped like a sack of potatoes while using it because I'm, you know, bloodied. But it is a very good weapon in using just around the game, because you don't need a lot to get it. All the mods for it are going to come to you easily, because pipe weapons are 10 a penny to be found in the game, and you're going to get there. It's going to do what you need it to do, and that is the main point of any weapon. So yeah, I love it. So there we have it, that's today's video. Again, as usual, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you'd like to support the channel more, there is the Ko-fi link down below, and you can become a YouTube member by clicking that join link. Now, let's thank our members, which are Goldie, Wyatt Blackburn, Wallers, me, Deofane Gaming, Colin G, Brian RMC, Peggy McKnight, Matazbo, Devilman Games, Marcus Carrasco, Scott S, Bubba Doodle Mom, Ranger McSprudle, and Anxiety Rangers. And if you guys would be so inclined, go give Anxiety Rangers a follow over on, a subscribe over on YouTube. He makes some good content, and if you're into some banter, that's the best way to go. Now, this weapon, absolutely fantastic. It is very capable of taking out just about any enemy in the game that is an Earl and the Queen. And that is most enemies in the game. You're gonna find the ammo relatively easy to get, the mods are easy to get. Everything about this weapon is just... bog standard isn't the word. It's very an average weapon, but average is what you need to get through most of the game. You don't need the best weapon in the game to kill a ghoul. You don't need the best weapon in the game to kill a super mutant. You might need it to kill Earl, you might need it to kill the Queen. That is the only 2 enemies that really require many bullets. So overall, it does what it needs to do, and I think you should embrace the pipe. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you next time in the wasteland.